Welcome to your deep stretch yin yoga practice for the SI joint. Perfect if you're experiencing pain or tension in this area or anywhere near your lower back. And we'll get started lying down on our backs. Take your time getting here, moving really slowly today as in all our yin yoga classes. You can plant both feet to the mat. And then invite one knee and then the other towards your chest. One hand on each knee will widen the knees out, a variation of our saddle pose to start. Just letting the weight of the hands and arms sink those knees a little bit closer towards the ground. So we're not pulling or forcing, we're letting gravity do the work. And letting the areas of the body that need to settle release. You're very welcome to close the eyes, to turn inwards, letting the breath be soft, slow and steady. Thanking yourself for making time today to help yourself feel better. Now leave some silence in today's postures so that you can really experience whatever it is that is going on in your body and your mind. And very slowly bring the knees back together. Let the sole of the right foot find the mat and then the left. Widen the feet a little bit. Let the knees knock in together, either holding still or maybe just gently rubbing the insides of the knees together. Just feeling the effects of that first pose and releasing from that deep stretch. And then cross your right knee over the left. You could keep the sole of the left foot to the mat. This would be our first option. The second option is to bring those crossed knees in towards the chest with the hands resting to the top knee. And the third option would be to rest both hands to the bottom knee, to your right knee. And this will likely feel a little bit more intense. So feel free to experiment with those options. Pick the one that serves you best for today. Settling into the pose. And holding here as you breathe. If you find after your first few breaths that you would like to try a different option, perhaps backing out of it or coming a little bit further into it, you're more than welcome to do so. We're holding poses for about 2 minutes today, so a bit of a shorter hold than in other yin yoga classes that you might have experienced. And that's just to recognize that there may be some tension in the area, and we never want to push too far towards any discomfort. And gently release. If you were holding onto your knees, you can uncross. Bring both feet flat. Squeeze through the glutes and just lift and lower the hips a few times. Not really coming all the way into bridge pose, just a little bit of a release here through the tailbone, the lower spine. Maybe lifting half an inch higher each time. And then letting that go. Centering the sole of the right foot, cross the left knee over. Maybe you stay here in your first option. Perhaps the knees come in towards the heart, holding the outside of the top knee or the outside of the lower knee, whatever works for you. Making sure that the back of the head and the shoulders are still nicely released to the mat. No tension in the face, the jaw, the feet, or really anywhere at all throughout the body. Once again, taking a few breaths to find your pose, your expression. Settle in and breathe. Take a final little squeeze here, and then bring that right foot down, uncrossing the knees. And same thing, we'll take a few gentle lifts and lowers, squeezing through the glutes to lift the tailbone and lower back off of the mat, any amount. Taking just a few movements here. Maybe already noticing a difference after these first few poses. Once you're ready, you can roll yourself over to one side. Just pick your favorite, make your way onto your stomach, making a little pillow with your hands and releasing your forehead to the back of the hands. You could stay right here if this feels nice, or you could open your left knee out towards the side, roughly in line with your left hip. And again, you could stay here, or you might bend into that right knee and perhaps catch hold of the right foot with your left hand. Once again, choosing which of those three options will work best for you and your body and mind here and now. There is no pulling or forcing. There is only your experience and your sensations. If you did have hold of that back foot, you can let it go, bringing both legs alongside one another. They can be pretty wide apart. Lift yourself up into a Sphinx pose on your forearms. You can shake the hips out a little bit. We'll just be here for a few breaths. Take about 5 more deep inhales and exhales. Just letting the body be really soft and settled in between sides. And we'll have the same options on our second side. You can make a little pillow with those hands, rest the forehead down. You could choose to open the right knee out towards the side, and only if you'd like, you could catch hold of the left foot with the right hand. Oftentimes very normal to have a different experience on the first and second sides, particularly when it comes to issues like our SI joint, which are frequently related to some imbalances in the body. So meet yourself wherever you are. Trust that this is what your body needs. Trust that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. If you had hold of that foot, let it go. Both legs alongside one another, widening them if you'd like. Returning to your Sphinx pose, just a few breaths here this time. And then really slowly, really mindfully, press into the hands to sit yourself back towards a child's pose. And make it kind of an intermediate child's pose, so the knees are not together, but they're not all that wide apart either. This tends to be a nice option to relax through the SI joint. So you can let the elbows soften towards the mat here, the forehead can release. Notice wherever it is that you feel sensation. See if you can find some comfort here. Or take any other little adjustments that might feel good. Beautiful. Let's lift our way up to all fours to sit ourselves down. Widen the soles of the feet a little bit wider than your hips so you can softly rock the knees out left and right. We have one final pose for today, really great for the SI joint and the hips. So the next time your knees are over towards the right, we'll hold here in our deer pose, roughly a right angle in both knees. You could sit up tall, or you're welcome to walk the hands back any amount, finding a little bit of a lift in the heart space here. And the eyes can close. Notice where you feel this. Oftentimes a pretty different experience for many of us in deer pose. If you had walked your way back, begin to straighten yourself up. Take a few more rocking motions side to side with those knees, going as slowly as you would like. Eventually finding your way over towards the left side, And playing around with whether you'd like to stay up tall or walk yourself back. You could even lower onto the forearms. That's an option that works for some people. Again, letting the feet be relaxed, feeling free to adjust or move anything that needs to be moved. Letting the heart be open, the shoulders soft, the breath slow and steady. And then straighten yourself back up, rock it out a few times with those knees. And then keep the feet where they are, let the knees fall open. Left knee towards the left, right knee towards the right. Just letting them be heavy here for a moment. And then let the knees fall towards the inside, towards one another. Take a breath. You can even sigh it out through the mouth. And then find any comfortable seat that works for you, keeping the eyes closed for just a moment as you appreciate how you feel, and bring the hands to heart center to close out our practice. Thank you so much. I would really recommend, if you haven't already, that you join my 3-day mini challenge for the lower back. Wonderful as well for the SI joint and pelvic areas. The link is on screen and in the description box of this video. And I wish you a great rest of your day.